Deja, and I wanted to talk about the whole AP situation and everybody losing their minds because of it. So, Audemars Piguet, also known as AP, is one of the biggest luxury watch brands in the world. Their Royal Oak watches are seen as a huge status symbol. For a lot of celebrities and wealthy people, owning an AP is not just about liking watches, it's about exclusivity and showing status. So, when AP announced their collaboration with Swatch called the Royal Pop, social media immediately started panicking. People saw AP, Royal, Swatch, and $300 to $500 price rumors and assumed that AP was about to make affordability Royal Oak style watches for regular people, and that's where the outrage started. So before people even fully understood what the collaboration was, DDG reacted like a lot of luxury watch people did. The issue for them wasn't the design, it wasn't the quality, or even the actual watch. The issue was access. The fear is if everybody can get access to something that looks like an AP, then what makes AP special anymore?
But still, like just seeing this make me want to sell my AP. AP, what's up, man? What's going on? I done spent 200,000 on one of y'all watches. You telling me I could have waited to 2026 and spent 300 and got the same effect?
That reaction says a lot because it shows how a lot of people view luxury. For some people, luxury is not just about this is expensive, it's more about this is expensive and more people can't have it. So once regular people are able to access something similar, some celebrities and wealthy people feel like the status just loses its value. So now this is where the internet really got humbled. After the outrage, people realized that it was not even, AP making a Royal Oak style watches for this collab. The Royal Pop collection turned out to be a very colorful Swatch inspired pocket watch style, and it was based on Swatch's older pop watch designs in the past. So the thing that people were panicking about, it wasn't even happening. Regular people were not suddenly walking around with these cheap versions of AP's Royal Oaks. I honestly, it just made the whole reaction look very unnecessary from people like Doodoo Garbage GDG because people were upset about the idea of accessibility before they even knew that it was really accessibility and the facts of what was happening. Once people realized that the watches had pocket watch styling, the internet immediately started clowning. Suddenly, everybody was making these like Sherlock Holmes jokes. They were talking about monocles, detective memes, Victoria era jokes, elementary My Dear Watson tweets. People were basically saying, "So y'all are panicking over a watch that looks like it belongs in a murder mystery." And honestly, that's what made the whole situation very funny because the panic happened first and the facts really came after. So here's the very ironic part about it. People also started pointing out that luxury has levels. Yes, DDG owns expensive watches. The resale AP watches are still very luxury items, but AP's highest level of exclusivity usually comes from direct relationships with a brand through boutique access, purchase history, brand allocation, long-term client relationships. So there's a difference between I bought an AP and AP gives me direct access. And that's when people started pointing out the irony of what he was doing. DDG was worried about regular people getting easier access to AP style luxury, while luxury culture itself still has the gates above him as well. And honestly, that's how class systems usually work. People protect the highest levels that they've reached, even while someone above them is still gatekeeping them from whatever they have. And this honestly isn't new. This happened with a lot of brands. You have Burberry, they lost some of their elite appeal in the 2000s because regular people they started getting access to it. Then there was knockoff culture. Once too many people had access to the pattern of Burberry, well, the people started distancing themselves from it. Now you always have a lot of black people. They're saying, "Oh, let me get my Burberry shirt so that I can go to the baby shower and eat the meatballs and nachos." There was Michael Kors and Coach when outlet stores made these brands more affordable. Some status folks, consumers stopped viewing them as luxury, and it was because once everybody could get one, the exclusivity felt weaker. There's sneaker culture. A lot of sneaker culture is built on scarcity. There's limited drops, there's limited access, resale prices. And for many people, the hype is not even about the shoes anymore. It's about other people not being able to get it as easy as them. Abercrombie and Fitch. Abercrombie historically built its brand around exclusivity and coolness. It wasn't just this is for everybody. It was for this is for a certain type of person. And this is how this connects to real life because this mindset doesn't just stop at watches and fashions. It shows up in how we live every day as well. Housing issues. I've talked about it before, but Stephen Curry, he got criticism over opposing higher density housing near his wealthy neighborhood. And this is a part of a bigger issue. Wealthy neighborhoods often resist affordable housing because they feel like it changes exclusivity, privacy, or property value. So access to housing becomes restricted. It happens in education. A lot of school quality in America is tied to neighborhood wealth and property taxes, meaning better education often depends on whether you can afford to live in certain areas. It affects healthcare. You know, healthcare exists for everybody in America in theory, but in fact, people that are very wealthy have access to better doctors, faster access, concierge medicine, specialist care. So quality healthcare becomes tied. All right, so food access. Many poor communities live in food deserts with less access to healthy groceries and fresh foods. Meanwhile, wealthier areas have access to healthier options. There is the Flint water crisis. The Flint water crisis showed how poor communities can be denied even basic necessities like clean water. And that's where these conversations they definitely matter, because once society starts believing not everybody should have equal access, the mindset it can spread from luxury to necessities. So this AP situation was never fully just about watches. It exposed how much some people connect to value and exclusivity. Before people even knew what the product was, they were already panicking over the possibility of regular people getting access. And that says a lot because at some point we have to ask, do people actually care about quality or do they just care about the feeling above some other people? Because if your identity depends on separation, accessibility will always feel threatening. And that mindset doesn't just shape luxury culture, it shapes education, healthcare, housing opportunities, and that's why this conversation matters because sometimes celebrity drama exposes bigger truths about society. But let me just know what you guys think about this whole situation. Do you feel like DDG was right in what he said, or do you feel like DDG is doo doo garbage?